into prime time is going to solve that problem. And you've said that the main reason you did that is because you want to keep Leno. And assuming that that is in fact part of it, let's just sort of stipulate to that right now. But what else went into that thinking, and what do you think he's going to do for you there?
You know, when you were talking before from the podium, you mentioned that we're all under tremendous, we're all going through tremendous changes in our businesses. And I'm sure that Business Week continually thinks about, you know, how much should be online and how much should be in print and how many editions should we put out a year. And I'm sure all of these questions are being thought about. I think broadcasting is going through exactly the same questions, or should be. Local television, the exact same thing. And I think, frankly, you know, newspapers didn't ask those questions fast enough and weren't willing to be honest enough with themselves. You could argue that Detroit didn't ask those questions strongly enough or sincerely enough. And my point is we need to be honest about the change in what's going on in broadcasting. We can put our heads down and we can cross our fingers and hope it was, you know, wish this was, you know, 1987, but it's not. And technology has changed everything. Digital video recorders has changed the way people watch primetime television. The internet has changed the way people consume video. And advertising is not what it was. In our view, we have to think about the model. Now, you're right. NBC in prime time has had a difficult last 3 or 4 years. Sometimes you see the world more clearly when you're flat on your back. And you know, it makes you step up and acknowledge what's going on. And I think when we look at broadcasting, we're looking at the model and saying, you know, it's been that way for 50 years, but does that mean that's today still the right model? And I think you have to, in an environment that we're in, especially in an economic environment we're in, you have to question everything. You can't say just because that's the way it's been, we've got to keep going that way. You know, you can decide to do that, but so we looked at so we had this confluence of events at NBC in prime time, which is that we were not doing very well right now. And by the way, that's a cyclical thing. NBC was on top and #1 in prime time for 11 straight years. You know, had the best run any prime time's ever had. You know, but we've clearly not had a good last couple of years. So we had that event, and we had, you know, what about Jay? And so this confluence of events arose. We believe in Conan, and that's why